this world has been connected. And now darkness within darkness awaits you.
In the end, every heart returns to the darkness whence it came.
My name is Ansem. I reach for the darkness. One who knows nothing can understand.
Good tidings, everybody, and welcome to the Ansem Report podcast! This is episode number 6 of season 2 of the longest-running Kingdom Hearts podcast in the world. My name is Mike, and with me, as always, is my brother, Jason. Hello, Jason.
Yo, what's good?
And you thought it was just Jason, and I'm sure that would be enough for some of you, but we have a very special guest that some of you might love, and some of you might just groan and go, really, this guy again? Ladies and gentlemen, my favorite Kingdom Hearts content creator, Regular Pat, is here.
Oh my! I really thought you were gonna say like BioRoxas
No.
or HMK.
No,
Listen, it's an honor to be back. You know what the old saying is: "Life's too short to only appear on the Ansem Report podcast just 3 times."
Yeah,
so
people
I
say
figured
that.
I might as well.
The age old.
I mean, I hear it at least once a week. I can't go anywhere without hearing that.
I will say,
I'm just happy to be back.
I will say, I said you're my favorite Kingdom Hearts content creator, which is true, but there's not really a lot out there.
I mean,
It's more of a by default.
Yeah, you kind of,
Yeah.
it's either you or like HMK, and it's like, ooh.
right? You could have said favorite Kingdom Hearts content creator to be on the podcast this many times, and that would have been fine for me.
Yeah. Speaking of the Keykeepers, Pat, how do you feel about
Yeah.
Sarah Key joining the Keykeepers?
It's really such an impressive merge. I don't usually follow these sorts of trades, but I'm sure that's going to be a real boon for everybody's branding in the long run.
Yeah, huge get.
And that is my neutral statement on all of that.
I told
Wow.
Jason I was going to ask
Hot
you
take.
about that, and he
Hot
was,
take.
and he was like,
From
Pat, he's
Regular
going to hate
Pat.
that.
Jesus Christ. The whole reason I like to guest on things is because it absolves me of responsibility. That's what I thought, at least. Because, if you're running your own channel and you're doing your own stream, you're responsible for everything.
Right.
So the reason I love to be here and on other people's shit is that, they get to drive and I get to be the passenger for once. But then you throw that kind of shit at me. So it's like, whatever.
Yeah, well, anyway, okay, we'll get a little more normalized here, Pat. I have an email,
Yeah, okay.
actually,
Ooh.
from a new listener, and I'm going to read it for you guys real quick.
Yeah.
It is from a new member of our Discord as well, Z-Volts. And they say, hello, I'm writing to the podcast in the past, per se. Listening to a past episode and replying to the question in the present. Okay, I misread that, but that made some sense. I recently joined Discord under the name Z-Volts, whose favorite org member is definitely not Luke Sword. My original plan was to reply to all the questions throughout the podcast lifetime, but no one, and I don't think even Jason or Mike, wants to do that. That is true.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a first-time
Straight
emailer
up.
and a huge KH fan. I have no idea this email will be read in the future of the show, though I kind of hope it will be sometime. And they chose to answer a specific question we had asked a while ago about what everybody's favorite Kingdom Hearts memory is. And so I think, that's wholesome and fun, so let's do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, my favorite Kingdom Hearts memory is almost the whole. I learned of the series from an older friend when I was a kid. He loved it and introduced me to the series. He played it at my 10th birthday party, and I remember him trying to fight the Phantom over and over. After that, my friend and I started to play outside and be kids using imagination and whatnot. We had a huge story in our pretend world, and I eventually hoped to sometime make that a reality, whether it be through a book or game. It was somewhat similar to Kingdom Hearts in the vein of having an organization, and that's all we took. The rest involved cryptids or American folklore as enemies. We swung big sticks around my dad's backyard, and I even had a long plastic grabby thing as my weapon, and took it wherever I was when I hung out with him. Kind of cringy.
If this turns into yeah, and then me and my friend, we created this video where we fought swords in the parking lot, and I was Sora and he was Roxas. If this turns into that, bro, I'm
dual
out.
wield BBS.
Z-Volts is not one of the parking lot kids, unfortunately. He says, kind of cringy, but those memories wouldn't exist without Kingdom Hearts. Love the show. Keep up the fantastic work. Thank you, Z-Volts, for emailing.
Thank you.
Kingdom Hearts, I have those memories myself. I'm old, and I have those memories of playing on the playground, not with Kingdom Hearts because it didn't exist yet, but Power Rangers of all things.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Mike, were you one of those kids who would be like, you didn't actually hit me because I had shields and actually I have invincibility?
Oh, absolutely.
Were you one of those?
Absolutely.
Yeah, fuck you,
I
dude.
still do that.
Yeah.
I still
Like
do that
also
in real
like
life.
Superman.
I go, you didn't actually hit me.
when your taxes are due, it's actually I have invincibility for this whole quarter, so really it doesn't count.
Actually, I'm exempt. I'm exempt.
You can still do it. Yeah.
No, it doesn't really work out for me though in the end.
Yeah.
Thank you, Z-Volts, for writing in the email. Pat, do you have a favorite Kingdom Hearts memory that you want to share with us?
Oh man. Well, I think the conventional answer nowadays, the company line would be March Caprice. March Caprice won though. Could you imagine if I said the first one was better than the second one? Just be like, yeah, that last one we did, it was kind of.
That'd just be wrong because it's just like
it was objectively. The second was objectively better. I mean, really, like that.
The
I know
pacing of the first one was a bit better, I will say.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and the world design.
But as you spin your wine glass, you're like, yes, the first one was better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and we're so close to getting through one of these podcasts without talking about fucking March Caprice. We never escape it, really. Yeah, one day.
For like a month, and then the next one will be announced.
Yeah, exactly. It's emblematic of what the series is all about. It really walks the line of my friends are my power. I just love getting to see what everybody's capable of, and lesser known names in the community, and getting to see everything they can do. And it just feels good, that entire 3-day stretch there. I mean, the first one was probably my fondest KH memory, and then the second one blew it out of the water. So
yeah, dude, no, that's a great answer. Shout out to those people that say, "Wow, you guys really like March Caprice, huh?" Because we do. Fuck you. I'm not going to be apologetic about it. We love March Caprice. It's a fun event.
That's right.
And I'm still blown away by the music segment that Keynote put on. Man.
God, I still throw that on sometimes and just have it on in the background. It is amazing.
Yeah, and just the amount of charisma oozing from Keynote.
God,
what a star!
That little Fantasia gremlin. I love him.
Yeah,
he's so good.
He just killed it. He just did so well.
Yeah.
It really made it for me. It would have been so much different if it just was just a YouTube playlist that just went back to back to back. But it gave so much personality to it.
It's so cozy.
Yeah, definitely. I felt like I was at a concert. And then we got to follow it up that first night. That was so cool. Loved that.
That was dope.
You guys said, wow, that was that was the coolest thing you did.
Sorry.
Now you guys get to be on, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
The quality just dipped immediately.
I just want to say, speaking of March Caprice, I don't think you guys ever referenced on the podcast the absolute fucking spanking you guys were dealt in the Kingdom Hearts Union feud. Has that ever been mentioned? Is that even canon in here?
I think it's redacted, I think.
It's canon, but here's why we don't mention it. Because some of the survey... I don't want to disparage your fan base, but some of the answers, some of the top things were, ridiculous.
True.
I mean, okay, what? You're still mad about Billy Zane over Richard Epcar?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Billy Zane is a bigger name than Richard Epcar, and I'll stand by that.
Not in Kingdom Hearts.
Not in Kingdom Hearts, bruh.
I mean...
He was in one game, dude.
It's
like
a
1 to
voice
6
actor,
or something at this point,
I mean,
right?
just his name is bigger. If Michael Jackson voiced a character in KH1 once, then I think he'd be on the list.
I think that's illegal.
He'd be top 10. Well, yeah, I mean, you probably don't want him in the booth in 2002.
I think that's illegal. Okay, Lance Bass, arguably a very popular person, voiced Sephiroth in KH1. So you're telling me he's the
What did I walk into here?
You told me he's in
the top 6.
The top 6 voice actors.
I mean, he's got like 4 lines, you know?
Okay.
He's an optional boss. You might not even see him. You go start to finish. I don't know.
David Boreanaz, dude.
Okay, nobody can spell that, though. That's the problem.
That's true. No one can spell Boreanaz.
Yeah.
Not even David Boreanaz. He has no idea.
I mean, that's the one that you're mad about, but everything else was pretty much perfect.
No, there was another one I was like, I don't remember it now, but there was another one I was not happy with.
Well, I want you guys to know that sometimes when you guys answered and I said, "Oh, good answer," I didn't mean it.
Yeah,
I
that's
it was
fair.
A bad answer.
I just wish you would have got bigger.
You have to say good answer as the host.
I just wish you would have got bigger KH content creators. Like, where are the Biscuit Brothers, dude?
Yeah.
Where's the Keykeepers?
Well, yeah, at a point, it's like, is it even worth running?
You know, you got Bio and Water and Whale and Damo. You know, that's star-studded. But like,
they don't even make content anymore. These guys just leech my freaking sub. I'm subbed to all of them. None of them fucking stream.
We have 10 former Kingdom Hearts content creators here. That's why I should advertise it next time.
Yeah. Hopefully next time you can get some bigger names, you know?
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. Yeah. Gotta grease some palms, you know?
Yeah. I loved how many comments there were on that specific thing. I will say we did flub up. I haven't watched it in a while. I watched it like right when you posted it, and I haven't watched it since. We did flub up. No one saying "Dearly Beloved" on the music is pretty disgusting. Yeah,
that's terrible. The whole time I was crawling into my skin. I was like, "What is happening?"
And I think part of it is because I was like, "What would Pat say?" instead of what your fan base would say, because I figured it'd be similar. And so I was like, you know, what I can never
Roddy
remember.
Rumble, Very Small Wish.
Very Small Wish. I was like going in like Pat's head, and I should have been going in.
It's a dangerous place to be. I would not recommend delving into that.
I will say the first
lose-lose.
I don't remember what the first category we got was, but my answer was on the board. Tara's answer was on the board, and then Korn, Tyler, and Jason's answers were all not on the board. And I, in our group chat, said, "Hey, me and Tara cannot backpack you guys this whole game. Pick it up." Like I was angry.
Pick up. It's halftime. Let's go.
And then did they pass twice too? And I was like, "What the fuck?"
That is the thing about Team Water is that they pass off and
they're cowards.
Pretty much.
That's the thing about Team Water. They passed every fucking time. I'm saying it right now. If we ever get a rematch, I don't want it because I don't want to play against those cowards ever.
Yeah.
That was terrible. They should be ashamed. I don't care if they won. Pat, you brought something out in me, man. Now I'm angry about this.
No, I just wanted to make sure that the people knew what happened back in March.
Yeah, we lost.
It's redacted.
It's okay. It's okay that we lost. I don't have anything else to say about it. I don't want to disparage I don't want to disparage your fan base because that's what will start happening real quick here.
Yeah. It's okay.
But that was a lot of fun, and I will say thank you for inviting us. That was a great time.
Absolutely. I had a blast hosting it. So.
And it was a great idea, and I'm glad that nobody. I'm glad that nobody decided to do it right after you. That would have been terrible.
Yeah, that would have been terrible, and thankfully that didn't happen.
And in poor taste.
Yeah. Tastes terrible.
Pat's like, please stop.
Just like this episode's like a minefield all of a sudden.
You didn't realize you were walking into the SpikeGhetti war zone, dude.
Yeah, the fucking salty spittoon.
Yeah.
Pat clicked one of the squares in Minesweeper and it said 9, and he was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Pat,
he's menacing.
How do you feel about completely unrelated to our show, J. Conor Jameson?
I just don't understand how you guys haven't cracked down on this. It's been 3 or 4 live streams now where this guy's able to tap in and just talk his shit for minutes at a time.
Well, he's not really talking shit about us, so it's like, eh.
Well, yeah, but does that not interrupt the integrity of the podcast to just have basically pirates out there just commandeering everything?
I've been in touch with Xfinity and when I call them, they just simply remark, "We are not your internet service." So I'm not really sure
it's
what to do.
It's actually pronounced Keyfinity, but
key or Kai, but it means the same.
Yeah, meaning is the same. Yeah, that's fair.
Right. And I mean, if it can happen to the Italian government, nobody's safe, dude. So
that's true. God, I hope he doesn't leak my video from the Senate because that'd be really bad.
Right. I'm really scared. He's gonna hack the Italian government. I don't know, dude. J. Conor Jameson's nuts.
What's next? What is next?
He is nuts.
Well,
yeah, he reminds me of somebody too. I can't put my finger on it. But.
He's said quite a lot of disparaging things about you over the time. Pat.
Yeah, I mean, just last week or the week before, he was really getting on me about the Cage 2 gummy warp thing that I tweeted about.
Yeah,
the worst thing that could happen to a person.
The
worst thing that can happen to a person is your tweet leaving your initial audience.
Yeah, and
then reaching a larger, broader populace. Yeah, it's really bad. Can I just say, like, what is wrong with people? I think this is why I wanted to be on, because I'm wondering, as I was thinking, like,
he's clicking on mine.
That's right. I was thinking, like, why did I actually ask to be on the podcast recently? Because this was like, early to mid-April. Like, what was it? And like, that's a different Pat. And now I'm like realizing it's probably because I was like upset about something. If I were to comment on every time I saw a tweet that was like, look at this Cage 1 thing, like, I would seem like the biggest fucking douche on earth. But God forbid I find something in Kingdom Hearts 2 that I haven't known about for 15 years or whatever. And most people actually, it's like the Kyrie Bonk thing all over again. Most people are like, oh my God, that's crazy. But then you get like these assholes in the QRTs. They're like, well, I've played this game since I was a fetus, and anyone would know this to be the truth.
Yeah, I can't believe, because I was like, I saw it and I was like, oh, I bet there's some absolute trogs just saying whatever about Pat in here.
Yeah.
And so I clicked all the quote tweets.
Yeah.
And when I clicked it, I think there was like 100 some quote tweets, right? 99 of them were people going, wow, I never knew this before in some way. And then there was those like 7 that were just people like, wow, I guess Pat's never watched a speedrun before.
And you know what? I fucking haven't, and I don't want to.
Well,
why would you?
It's like,
why would you want to?
At this point, if this is the people in charge, I'm not interested.
Like,
dude, you're not doing a good job of advertising yourself.
Well, like the first,
you play any fucking game.
Well, and like with the first like 80 or so, all being like, "Wow, no way!" You think they'd be like, "Wow, I'm in the minority here."
Yeah,
it's like,
Time to
maybe this is normal to not know.
The knuckles. Yeah,
you're like, oh.
Yeah. These are the same people that were like, wow, Water Cage really released the Cage 3 randomizer in an unfinished state. Like it's just like people that they're in the real world, but in the real world they don't have any agency in their life, and they don't, in school they were bullied, and they just at best they were just not talked to, and then they get into like a community where they're accepted, which is great. But then it goes a full 180 because they have success in this community, like they're a good speedrunner or whatever it be. And then they're king shit of Shit Mountain, and you can't touch them. You know what I mean? And it's like, just be a good person. Like, why?
Yeah.
I can't believe anybody picks up like Kingdom Hearts 2 speedrunning based on the way the community acts.
I thought that was the end of the sentence.
No.
I cannot believe anybody picks up Kingdom Hearts 2 speedrunning. Next topic.
Well, I just mean like based on the way they act.
No, yeah.
Like, it's insane. Like,
yeah.
It's so like it's the least welcoming thing. Like, we've met some really nice people because Jason was running KH2 for a while. Like the Yanities and the Grags and the Albies and some good people, but most of the people are just like assholes, and it's so crazy.
Yeah. What can you do? There's a couple of bad eggs, He'll want to spoil the whole dozen.
I was really surprised because like it was one of those things where I had seen speedrunning of the game like for years. The game's hella fucking old.
Yeah.
And it's still like incredibly inaccessible. I'm pulling teeth out here trying to figure out how to do this. Like, what the hell? It's like you have to learn the wrong way, and then you have to learn the right way. Like, it's so ridiculous.
I mean, I was being hyperbolic to say that I've never watched any Cage 2 speedrunning. Like, I don't think I've ever watched one in full. I just don't have the attention span for it. But, like, even if I did, like, that's a blink and you miss it kind of thing. Like, pressing one button on the gummy map to warp. Like, that's like, the game never tells you that, and it's easy to miss.
Well, that's why I was like, someone was saying, oh, it's one of the first things you learn, and I was like, does it tell you can do this anywhere?
Not.
And it's like, no way in hell.
Yeah, that's patently false.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
Yeah, what can you do?
Anyway, if you're a speedrunner, we still like you.
Yeah,
I promise.
Yeah, listen,
just be nice.
I'm not diametrically opposed to speedrunning.
No, me neither. I do it. You know what I mean?
I've done it.
I've done it for all 3 games.
I've done it in a couple of bathroom stalls before. I dabble in the speedrunning.
And
I don't I'm addicted to it. I don't do it all the time, but like it's good for a rush sometimes. I like some speed running.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah,
Pat, let's move to a different subject that I want to ask you about.
Sure, please. Yeah.
Please. You released a new rap song recently.
Yeah, that was like 2 days ago. And like 4 people watched it.
Oh, really? Not big on the algorithm?
Well,
me
and Mike watched it, so that's like
there
half.
You go. That's half. Yeah, that's half. No, like I know going into like those are for me. Like I have so much fun doing those, and David does such a good job. Fabio produced the last one as well. Yeah, I mean they're both legends. Yep. I have one I'm working on with Fabio right now.
Fabio also a legend.
Yeah,
the
legends.
Creator of the Ansem Report theme song, Radiant Garden.
Yes. God, it's so good. But yeah, I mean, I think you read the title and you probably run for the hills just because that sequence of words is very upsetting. But I think, usually I hear from people, they go in, they think, oh, this is going to be bad, and then they leave, like, pleasantly surprised.
They go, wow, this guy can actually kind of rap.
Yeah. What can you do? I mean, doing my best.
Yeah, no, I was impressed with it. As always, I think you're very good at putting together these lyrics, rapping, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just like the wordplay.
Yeah, the wordplay. There's a lot of funny metaphors and things like that.
Yeah.
I do have a question though.
Sure.
Because your rap style, wow, I sound like some weird like rap person. Your rap style is definitely you're rapping at somebody.
Oh,
right?
You think so?
That's how it feels. It feels like
like kind of like some battle rap.
It's almost like battle rap, but without the off the dome aspect of it.
I like that. I like that there's nobody there to respond. I just get to speak. Is this targeted at somebody, Pat? Like when you're writing these lyrics, are you like fuck this guy in particular? To pivot
looking at their picture.
To pivot to another recent video I've done on the lock-on, I would say that these raps are not the hard blue lock-on, but more so the soft yellow lock-on. Okay. Does that make sense?
No. Just anybody that's in the area might take some damage.
Fucking way, yeah.
Pat, I'm really excited that you came onto the podcast for our new format where I'm doing like Howard Stern-esque.
Yeah, like I didn't realize that this was like a psych profile. Like the first 3 fucking times I came here first, what was it, March of 2021, and it was just like goofs and gaffs. I got to answer some cute little questions, very huge softballs, and now it's like 3 hard hitters.
Yeah, I just feel like we've gotten
to know. It's kind of fun, to be honest.
We've gotten to know each other pretty well, and
yeah.
People.
This is entrapment.
People know who you are.
Yeah.
We can only talk about Kingdom Hearts 1 so much. We gotta get some hard hitting. I need stuff that I can put like I can burst out of the podcast and put regular Pat said what about speedrunners?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Who is Pat rapping at in his battle rap?
Right.
So I mean,
if you know anything about me, you know who I'm rapping at.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's he rapping at, Jason?
Anybody who gets in the way of me being King of Shit Mountain.
King of Shit Mountain, regular Pat. Yeah. That's the name of this episode.
I think what's really appealing to me is like being the biggest fish in a very, very small pond. Like I love the idea
Kingdom
of that.
Hearts pond.
Yeah, well, not even. I mean, just the Kingdom Hearts rap pond. Nobody's beating me in that pond. I mean, that's like a vial of water. Like there's nothing going on in there.
Well, I mean, if we're talking like Kingdom Hearts novelty songs, there's you.
Yeah. Yeah, Preferred Whale.
There's Preferred Whale and Water KH. And then there's us.
This is me nodding and pretending I remember what you guys did because I am sorry.
Oh my god, you don't know Dark Take Me Home Dark Road?
Oh, I know that. Yeah, of course.
You didn't see Dark Road's on the Way on our live podcast?
I did not get to watch the entire live podcast, but I do know about Dark Road Take Me Home.
We are specifically novelty Dark Road songwriters.
Yeah, that's even smaller. that's like an atom of H2O.
We have Take Me Home Dark Road. We have Dark Roads on the Way, and then we have another one which we haven't revealed yet that we're working with Fabio on. That are all Dark Road.
Album.
They're all Dark Road. It's so stupid.
Jesus Christ.
So, we'll let you have the crown for now, but at some point, I'm going to start rapping.
Listen, you want to hop on the track? Yeah.
Yeah, can I get a feature?
We don't have to be enemies, so we can align. Yeah, that's what I want a feature, I need somebody to get a chorus, because I have no interest in ever doing choruses. I just want to do, like, ciphers.
That's true. You need, like, an Akon or a T-Pain.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you need.
Or J-Con.
J-Con?
Yeah. Confirm.
Can we get some auto-tuning on the track, please?
Yeah.
You already know.
I could literally turn that on, but it would not be the recording.
Yeah. Anyway, Pat, I love what you're doing with the rap, dude.
Yeah, thanks.
It's good shit. It's
That's
funny.
for me. You know, it's I'm having a lot of fun doing it.
If you haven't watched any of Pat's rap songs, you need to go watch it.
You need to get out.
You need to go
and
listen.
Then go watch it.
Listen.
Yeah.
Just stop listening to this podcast right now and go do it.
Yeah. Fucking pause.
How's the Patreon going, Pat?
Patreon's going great. I mean, everything's going great. Like, honestly, everything aside, like, I am doing better than I've ever done fucking ever. So, and Patreon is just a sliver of that. But yeah, that's booming. And I am very, very lucky.
Yeah, ever since you did the thing where you played with your feet, man, I feel like it's been like a rocket.
Which, you know, Jay Kona also had words about. I got charged with like corruption of minors on that. I think he said that was like poisoning the minds of the youth.
Yeah.
Did he say that? I don't remember that.
Yeah, he said something like that. He was like, this internet freak is like tainting the minds of our children.
I think he said, I don't want to let my children on the internet. I think that's what he said. Yeah, you're right.
I guess I took a leap, but it felt like that's what he was implying.
Just digging your own grave, I
I
guess.
guess as the controller, I mean, God.
Pulling back the curtain, that line was completely Jason, not mine.
Listen,
I write most of it.
it.
That line was Jason's 100%.
You better cut this out of the podcast. This is just for us,
No,
right?
no.
Honestly, yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, we always reference that we're Jay Kona, and then when people ask, we're like, no, we're not.
Oh, okay. It'd be funny if I did something like that too, you know?
Yeah, it's almost
But
like,
thankfully I don't.
yeah, it's good that you don't try to gaslight people. You know,
No, yeah, I would
you're
never.
a genuine guy, and that's part of like why people like your content.
Yeah,
you know.
I think
I'm
that's part
surprised
of
you're
the
not
charm.
genuine, Pat, you know? Like,
Yeah,
it's just...
That was on the short list.
Have you ever thought of rebranding and just being like Superior Pat?
I think like once I hit a certain milestone, I need to drop this regular bullshit because I've never felt it. It's just like a shield that I put up because I know that I'm spectacular, but it's good to hide behind that veneer of regularity.
That might be like a good emote for you. It's like you put the Giga Chad filter on and then it's Superior Pat.
Superior Pat.
I like the idea of that, yeah.
Oh boy. So Pat, we haven't had you on since the whole KH4 trailer business was a thing. And Missing Link, and even the reveal that Dark Road is possibly coming in August.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm just so thrilled that like Nomura is giving this fan game a chance to shine, and he's even like upgrading characters from these fan games to be like in KH4.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that
it's just really nice. He's such a sweet man.
He is, and people tend to rag on my man a lot, but he does good things. Yeah. You know,
I mean that kind of community outreach is unparalleled.
Yeah. Imagine if Nintendo did that. No, they just shut down the fan games.
Right, exactly.
Nomura takes the fan game and goes, now it's real.
He assigns 2 dedicated fans to run this fan game. And he gives them a space, the flickering lights in the Square Enix offices.
Pat, I gotta stop you. 2 female fans.
Yes, I'm sorry. That's very important in 2022.
Is there any reason why he had to distinguish that, do you think?
Just to make that... I don't know.
Because to me, like, it read like he was, like, trying to, like, make people be nicer about it.
Yeah, I guess you're less likely to.
I feel like that has to be a translation thing, dude. It has to be. I think it is. It has to be. There's no way, bro.
I mean, listen, I don't care who's fucking running this shit. I want my Dark Road.
Yeah,
I want that shit in my veins.
Yeah.
I don't care who's responsible.
You know, there's some guy out there that was like, wait, they're women?
Women are writing Dark Road.
I can't keep women out of Kingdom Hearts. That's what I always say.
I think that's what Sora says in Hollow Bastion.
He does.
It's Riku. I don't need a weapon. And also, I don't know about the whole women's rights thing. That doesn't seem correct. That's what Sora said.
Maybe the 7 princesses are where they belong, Riku.
Oh my god. I just think maybe the little crystal thing, that's where they belong.
Right.
It's fine. And Riku's like, Sora, Jesus, I'm wearing these evil pajamas. You've like gone off the deep end.
Right, man. Holy
What's
shit.
Captain Hook talking to you about after I left?
And then Beast is just like, yeah. Bell.
God.
It's like, yeah, I'm objectifying women too, dude. God damn, Beast.
No, really. I mean, this does all circle back to like, you know, there are people upset about that little announcement, and I don't know how they pick up the series and make it this far being that kind of intolerant.
Oh, for sure.
Right. It's so ridiculous. Like everything else in this like kids game is totally fine. Like, it's literally a children's game, guys. Yeah. Like, this is where you draw the line? Is this real?
Well, it's like the same shit that happens with, like, Star Wars and stuff, where they're like, oh, a stormtrooper can't be black, and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like,
where did you come from?
This makes no sense.
Yeah.
Dude, and then now it's the same thing with the Lord of the Rings show, with the elf.
Wait, is there
it's the same fucking thing?
Is there
there's
thing
a black
with that?
elf? Yeah, and people are mad that there's a black elf. It's
What?
so ridiculous.
Why?
It's like this is literally a fantasy fucking world. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Newsflash, nerds. Elves aren't real. They can be whatever color we want them to be. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's true.
Oh my god.
Like, it's so ridiculous.
Ugh.
Yeah.
The world. Good thing we
it's
have
got
our
this-
fun kids game that we can
that we can
Escape.
just like retreat to. Yeah.
play over and over and over.
But not speedrun.
Yeah, don't speak.
Apparently.
No, heavens no.
Pat, I want to ask you about the lock-on video, dude,
Sure.
because I could sense that you had committed to making this video,
Yeah.
and then towards the end you were like, "Why the fuck did I make this video?"
Yeah. I even say it in the little outro. It's like, you ever just like commit to a project and then you're like way too close to being done when you realize, why did I do this? That was that one, yeah.
I liked the video. I'm just gonna.
I'm glad.
I'm just gonna say that.
I think a lot of people. I think the more I dog on myself for it, the more people come out and be like, "Actually, no, it was good." If you just release a video that you worked hard on and you don't say anything about your process, they'll be like, "Yeah, it was fine." But if you're like really beat yourself up, that's the trick, is to really just kind of get ahead of it and be like, "This was really stupid, wasn't it?" And everyone goes, "No, we love it. It's great. Do more."
I was gonna ask about that. What the reception was to it? Was it in line with what you thought, or was it? Because
I mean, it got like fucking 20,000 more views than I expected it to. I didn't expect anybody to click on that. I think a lot of it has to do with Keynote's thumbnail of Sora holding the Glock and like shooting my mascot.
It is a pretty goated thumbnail.
It's really good, yeah. But yeah, it was just like a little tiny thing that's bothered me for years about these games, the inconsistency between the lock-on systems. And I was like I said, it should have just been a tweet. And it turned into a 20-minute video, which is the YouTube game. Like, that's what YouTube is all about. So
right, it's you take one take, and how can I make a 15-minute video about it? Right?
How can I squeeze
however long
10
it takes
minutes
to get the mid rolls? Yeah.
I mean, you don't really clickbait people. I haven't ever seen a video where I'm like, okay, Pat definitely clickbaited people, but it seems like to me, to get ahead in the YouTube game, you kind of have to do that, right?
I think it's very important. I mean, the thumbnail is so important, and you'll see people. I've seen it several times where they'll upload a video, and then if you're early enough, you'll actually see them change it because they can tell within hours if like the algorithm is being friendly to it, if people are clicking on it. The thumbnail's not good enough, so they actually change it, or the title actually.
Really?
I mean, those are just so hugely important. So I really try not to like falsely advertise. Like, that's my one rule, is like I will say whatever I can to get people in the door, but I'll never lie to them, or I'll never like exaggerate like the veracity or like the quality of what I'm saying. Like with going back to the Kyrie head bonk thing, like I was pretty honest and upfront in the title, but people like just took it the wrong way. But I would never like say like even something like Cage 2's lock on is garbage. Like, I would never make a video like that, because that's just, you're like, what you're doing. Like, anyone who pettifogs and pretends that they don't know what they're doing with something like that, I have no respect for. Like, don't make a purposefully inflammatory title. Try to be positive about things, not negative in the title. That's my kind of mantra there.
No, I agree with that.
Should have called it the lock-on system is a waste of effort, dude.
I've not watched that. Let's just speak candidly, since we're doing the Howard Stern angle. I've not watched that video. I don't have any interest in watching the video. I refuse
to click. Yeah, I refuse.
The guy seems nice. He follows me on Twitter. He's never been rude to me. I feel like he puts up with a lot of similar comment behavior that I do, and we kind of are simpatico on that. I don't think anybody should be rude to this guy because of his take. I mean, I do agree that the title is a bit inflammatory, but I think some people are really hard on this guy. Like, he clearly put a lot of effort into the video, so that's nice. I think the game was not a waste of effort, for the record.
Yeah, no.
I don't think even the worst Kingdom Hearts game is a waste of effort.
Yeah, no, I
that's
agree.
a stretch.
Well, and I've seen this thing happen now where that video was very successful despite, people being down on it, just based on the title, because the title is clickbaity,
Sure.
I think it's hard to like call it clickbaity when it's like a 5.5 hour video or however long it is, right? Like that.
Like, at a point, I have to respect anybody who writes a fucking script, because nobody wants to sit down and write a fucking script. So if this guy's gonna sit down and do it for 5 hours, then like that's a tremendous amount of respect from me, even if I don't agree with like a shred of what he's saying.
But I've seen quite a few like recommended videos in my Kingdom Hearts 3 was bad, or some version of that, and it's like a 3 hour video, and I'm like, wait, so is this guy like inspiring a group of people to start making
killers.
Right. Like I was just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And I don't click any of it because like
I just don't click on anything that I know, like, not to seem closed-minded or anything, but it's like when you're gonna advertise the subject as like, this is, you know, this game is bad, like that's how you're gonna approach it, then like I don't necessarily always view that as like a good faith start to the argument. Right. You know? Like, I would never make a video saying KH2 is bad or a waste of effort, because I just think that that's bad faith.
Well, and, you know, I don't think... So what's happened is KH3 came out and people were negative on it, and especially people who really like KH2, who, you know, that fan base has been really negative on anything Kingdom Hearts since KH2, right?
I mean, that's why I started, by the way. Like, that's why a regular Pat started in 2019, is because I couldn't fucking stand the consensus.
Right.
Like, that's, and I think, like, I think what you're about to say is, like, the culture shifts, you know? The counterculture and the culture, like, BBS was loved back in 2010, and then someone puts a video out, 2014, 15, and then everyone hates it, and then it shifts back. Like, it's a pendulum.
Well, and what what I'm seeing now is that, you know, we hate on KH2 as a bit, right? Like, we're like, we like KH2.
It's literally my favorite one.
Like, we literally love, but people are so, like, only KH2, right? That we have to.
About it,
like, it's punching up as opposed to punching down. If I'm
exactly, I was just gonna say
I'm
that.
Like, if I'm like, oh, Recoded sucks, I'm just beating the shit out of Recoded all day. Like that, no one cares about that, right? But if I'm punching up and going, Kingdom Hearts 2 sucks, like those guys have it good that really like that game. They can take it. But what's happening now, and I've seen a lot of people say this, they're like, man, I'm sick of people, and Fabio said this actually, and I'm sick of people acting like Kingdom Hearts 2 isn't a good game. And I've seen that sentiment a lot, and to me, it's like, I don't think anybody's saying it's not a good game. We're just saying that, hey,
it's not God's gift to Earth.
Its flaws,
exactly,
its flaws are there. You know, it's not perfect, and I'm not saying KH3 is perfect. I'm definitely not saying.
No, I don't think any of them are. I love KH1. That's certainly not a perfect video game.
Right, but I feel like that's part of the issue. Is sometimes that fan base, and that fan base tends to be the more hardcore guys and gals, they tend to not like have any nuance in the conversation, right? It's just bad or good. There's no, you know, and it's like you can have bad things about a game and good things about a game, and he'll still have it be a good game or a bad game. Like, it doesn't. And
absolutely.
I just find it interesting how it shifted, and I'm interested to see what happens when KH4 comes out and what it's like, because I think we're going to see this weird shift. Yeah,
looking at KH3 is going to be fascinating, you know, the discourse about 3 once 4 is out.
And I've seen people say, well, people used to rat on KH2 all the time, and that's true, but not in the way 3 got it. Like, KH2, people would be like, press triangle to win, LOL, right? Like, people would say that. No. But it has not gotten as nearly as much hate as KH3 did. Like, KH3 has just been...
Or 1,
one gets a lot of, like, it's clunky, which it is a little bit, but that's okay.
Would you rather be clunky or floaty, by the way? Like, just in general in life?
I'd rather be floaty. Yeah, I think I'd rather be floaty.
Yeah, I think me too.
I think...
I don't know.
Clunky's
Sometimes
fine.
I wake up on the clunky side of the bed, but I think in my soul I'm more floaty.
Well, I just think that the way KH3 works, it's like the floatiness of it, it's a lot more friendly to people to join into that. Like, I'll use Tara as an example. Tara played through all the KH games, you know, starting a couple years ago. And she had started playing 3 because that's what I was playing at the time. And then she was like, well, wait, I don't know anything that's going on. Can we start from the beginning? And I said, absolutely. Right. And then she had gotten to like Rapunzel in 3. So she had played a decent amount. And then she got to 1 and was like, okay, how come I don't immediately attack because KH3 you magnetize to the enemies when you target them, right? Right? And she's like, wait a minute, I actually have to like, you know, it's
position yourself.
It's a little more beginner friendly 3. So I'd pick floaty. Yeah. Even though KH1 has its charm and it has its things that it does very, very well.
Of course.
What my personal pendulum is like, I'm like, okay, floaty, and then if it's been long enough to where I haven't played KH1, then I'm like, I don't know, dude, clunky's kind of better. And then I play KH1, and then I'm like, no, floaty's better. Floaty's better. Oh my god, floaty's better. That's what always happens to me.
Yeah,
that's what always happens to me.
Definitely. Man, I feel like we've reached some new heights in this conversation.
Did we crack the code? Did we finally solve the discourse? Is discourse over?
I think we did. I think everybody can now come together, hold hands, and just say the Kingdom Hearts is light, you know?
Yeah.
True.
That's all that matters.
I really think we've reached it. Euphoria, even.
Yeah, Nirvana.
Nirvana. Is there anything else that I mean? You asked me to be on the show. Full disclosure.
Yeah, again, I think I was just upset about something at the time, and I don't remember it.
So I wanna. Is there a discussion topic that you want to talk about? Or is there something that you're like, you're chomping at the bit to get to?
I think the one like post Cage 4 thing. It's crazy to think that it's only been like almost 2 months when this comes out. What was it? April 10th, the release,
Yeah.
The announcement. Like, it's crazy to think it's only been that long, because it feels like I've been living in post-Cage 4 world for years now already.
It does,
which is it's more boating considering my occupation. But I would say that the most frustrating thing so far about the Cage 4 discourse is like the aesthetics of it. People are so upset about how Sora looks. Not everybody, but like I think the more kind of outskirt fans, maybe the people that aren't as deep cut, are like, why does he look like that? Like, what is this whole art style? And it's like, I don't know, if you played the games, you would know that like he's only going to look like that when he's in Quadratum. Like, This is not a permanent. And like, I get if you don't like how it looks while he's there, but like, stop clutching your pearls as if like the entire series is going to look like this more realistic.
I don't even understand why people are mad about it. Like,
yeah, I don't get it.
He doesn't look
I
bad.
just don't like it.
I don't know.
It's fine.
I feel like everybody just forgets the feeling that they have at the start of every single new KH. Like, when you play KH1, you're like, okay, this is what Sora looks like. Then you play 2, and you're like, okay, I gotta get used to this is how Sora looks. Like, when you played it the first time, absolutely. Yeah. And then the same thing with, like, KH3. Like, oh, you have to get used to, okay, like, this actually is Sora. And, like, I would argue even the same thing happens in DDD, where you're like, okay, well, like, I'm used to him looking like this from KH1, but it is weird that it's, like, it's older Sora, so his voice is a bit different, but he's like in the KH1 body. Yeah. Like, there's some meta stuff to it for sure, but like it's just a thing that you just have to get used to as the game's art and like graphics progress. Like, you're gonna get over it after like the first couple worlds. Like, you're gonna forget about it.
It's just the hysteria about all of it is so overblown,
I mean, as things always are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I'm acting like I'm surprised about all this.
That's the thing that I've kind of come to, is it's like when I see a take that I'm like, really? But then I'm like, wait, why am I surprised by this take?
Yeah, it's like, why am I expending the brain calories on this?
There's nothing about this take that's surprising. It's like, it is what it is, And so I had a minute there where I was like getting really involved on Twitter and like trying to like, no, this isn't right. This is, and it's like, nah, just give up. What are you doing? Just make your podcast, silly man. Don't jump on Twitter and start trying to argue with people.
I'm trying to get better about that, to be honest, because like, and I used to not be this way, but like, I think I take the bait now. I don't know why. I don't even think it's bait necessarily, but like, I get a negative. I'm so much more likely to respond to a negative comment, and I wish I wasn't like that, because there's so many positive comments that I don't respond to. So I've instituted a new rule where every time I respond to a negative one, I force myself to find 5 positive ones to respond to.
Nice.
Because after that whole gummy ship thing, and then there was like this guy on my one video that was trying to tell me that objectively meant his opinion, I just like lost my mind for a day.
I saw that one.
I lost my fucking mind for a day. Like 24 hours. I had no brain. So I've like really tried to fix myself in that way. So
it's tough though, man.
Any other content people listening to try not to fixate on the negative. It is tough though.
It's tough because you can get a million positive comments, or just comments that are like, hey, great job. And then you get that one that's like, hey, you said this and you're fucking wrong, and you probably don't have a penis because of it. And then you're like, fuck, this guy thinks I don't have a penis?
Yeah, it's like, oh, my penis fell off. Like, sometimes it actually causes your penis to fall off.
It's crazy.
You have to chase him around the room in a Tom and Jerry style. It's so ridiculous.
You gotta reattach. It's terrible.
Yeah. So, like, it's tough, man. I get it. Like, and I can only imagine, because we don't get nearly as many comments as you do. You're a huge star, and we're just,
well, whatever.
We are just like we're the bands that all the other bands that are big like.
I was just gonna say, you're KH content people for KH
we're like
content
the
people.
Imogen Heap.
Yeah, we're like the people like all these bands get big, and they go. Man, it'd be like, hey, what's a band you really like? And they go, there's a Super SpikeGhetti Bros, man. They're really cool. And the reporter's like, yeah, whatever, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, I wanted you to say Maroon 5 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're just down here like someday it will be us. And then like we'll have like a renaissance when we're in our like 60s, and people will be like, oh yeah, these guys, I remember them, and they weren't there though.
Right? No, they're bullshitting.
They'll be like, "Yeah, I was there during season 1," and I'm bullshit. You were. I don't remember you.
Bull fucking shit.
Yeah, so
I was a lurker.
Yeah,
but I was here. That's all that
Pat,
matters.
you were here, and that's the thing is the content creators are here. It's just for whatever reason, like, and I don't disparage anybody for this at all, but like
I do.
You will say, "Hey, I'm on the Ansem Report podcast this week," and we'll get a little more like traction than we typically do, right? But like, very few of those people are like, "Yo, these guys were funny," or like, "Wow, I liked what they had to say." They're normally just like, "Yeah, I'm here for Pat," and then fuck off. And
I mean,
I get it though. Like, I'm not like
right. You understand it, but I will disparage them for you. Fucking stick around. You're looking. I put out like 2 videos a month. All right, so every week you get at least something to listen to.
That's true.
You know, and I'm behind. Like I basically have all of season 2 to catch up on.
Oh man, yeah.
I had a busy May.
You're missing some stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at least acquainted with the new intro, which is fucking phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. I mean, that's all Fabio and David and Meadow Vista Media.
Well, the video is good too.
I mean, I just kind of went on NoClip and found, you know.
God, NoClip is like, that's like another like Cage thing for the Cage content creators, you know, like that's just like a really good tool. I feel like just the casual consumer of Kingdom Hearts doesn't know about that, but it's such a nice thing. Even if you're not making stuff, just look around in that NoClip.website.
It's cool, and there's a lot more on there than just Kingdom Hearts. Like Final Fantasy X's on there, and that shit's fascinating.
Yeah,
like you can go into like Unalesca's bedroom and shit, and you're like, what?
Oh my god,
yeah,
heavens!
And she has a lute in there. She's like,
oh my god,
she likes music. God, tell me more about Unalesca,
yeah,
please.
Tell me more,
mommy. Anyway, I think we should probably take a break and then go through the question of the week when we come back, which is, what is your hottest take on the Kingdom Hearts games? So Jesus Christ, take the wheel.
Yeah.
I hope you got some hot takes for us, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. All right, guys, we will be right back.
This is Richard Epcar. Welcome to the Ansem Report podcast. Come to the darkness.
Welcome back to the Ansem Report podcast. Pat.
Nice.
Jason. It's time for the...
Arby's. Oh.
Got him.
I was gonna say, do you want us to say it, or are you playing it right now?
Neither.
I was gonna go, question of the week.
That's pretty good.
Question of the week. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, this week's question of the week is from Swirls Barkley. He says, kind of an evil one. Time to hate everyone in this question of the week. What is your hottest take on the Cage games? It has to be something you totally stand behind. No backpedaling.
Wow. No reversals.
No reversals.
Oh, boy.
Jeez.
So, SBCat starts us off, and he says, not even sure if it's a hot take, but Axel is a really lame character. Super big Deadpool vibes, and Deadpool is also cringe.
Yo.
Also, Cage 1.
That's actually a good answer.
Cage 1 is just as good, if not better, than Cage 2. There's some beauty in the simplicity of Cage 1, and I think it gets overshadowed by Cage 2 too much. Also, Recom is an amazing game. Y'all just want to hit X without thinking.
Love SBCat.
SBCat going. It's like he knew you were going to be on the podcast, dude.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, that was a take made for me.
Yeah.
It was like made in a lab for a regular Pat. No, listen, Axel is a little cringe. I loved him in Com, but he really is just like leaning on the fourth wall in 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. Give him some more stuff to do.
Yeah.
Egg adds, I don't think this is Egg's take, but he's adding to SB's, and he says, Axel is cringe. Get a job, dude. Yeesh.
Go to bed.
Yeah. Get out of here, Axel.
Go to bed, read a book. Get the fuck out of here.
Orpheus Joshua says, I don't get why people like Ephemer and Scold. They're kind of boring. Ooh.
Dude, I don't get why anyone likes anyone from Union Cross.
I 100% agree with this take, bro. Like, what? Like, I don't...
Okay.
They're very plain. Like, what are their personalities? I watch Eating Cross.
I agree that they have no personality. I don't get the Ephemer love. I think Scold has a very cute design.
Yeah,
and I think that's why people like her. But I just remember during like the Union Cross finale when she like said a word and everybody was like, "Yo, go off, Queen Slay!" Skull said something, and it was like this is so terrible.
Yeah. Well, and what's so crazy about it too is like they're supposed to like be carrying the story because the player doesn't talk, right?
Right.
So in reality, it's like you got Ephemer, you got Scold, and then like the Chirithy is really the only one I actually like. The only one that actually feels like they have a personality.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. And it's tough because it's like all like text cutscenes, you know?
Yeah.
But still,
little chibi boys.
I don't get why people like them so much. So far, pretty base takes from this question.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly.
Up next, we have Emma Luna. Shout out to Emmy. Go check out her podcast, Emmy's Galaxy, please, and thank you. It's a good podcast. She says, I have zero optimism about Kairi as a character, smile, or really any female Cage character. I'm not saying it's impossible. I have just gotten my hopes up so much over the years for how female characters in Cage could grow and improve, and I've just felt betrayed every time. You couldn't even fucking play as Kairi in the credits of Mom. I want female Cage characters, especially Kairi, to be treated better, but I feel like the team just doesn't care about them, to be honest. Kairi is so lovable, and I applaud people that are optimistic about her future in the series. I just don't feel the same way, because I feel like the female characters in Cage have never been on an equal playing field compared to the men, so why believe that they're going to start anytime soon? Organization 13 originally had 13 characters, and only one of them was a woman, LMFAO. Naminé and Shion get forgotten. Aqua went to hell. Do I need to explain Kairi? She almost fucking died. Anyway, that was a long rant, but I hope I got my point across, smile. I feel a bit more optimistic about newer female characters like Ava or Strelitzia, but, well, hopefully I'm proven wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like, why believe it's going to get any better when we have no evidence to support that? You know, it's been a 20-year series, and there's a lot to improve on, and, you know, I don't think they're saying like it's not gonna happen. There's no reason to be optimistic.
Right,
you know, the Kai to happiness is low expectations.
Yeah,
true.
The Kai to happiness.
So I like that. Yeah.
Here's Egg's take. My hot take is that Pete is one of the best written characters in the series. Cage 2 and BBS essentially give us Pete Road, a full chronology of how Pete became Pete he is today. That's more than you can say Pete about any of the other villains. Even Xehanort, at least Pete, for the next few months. What?
Yeah.
You start replacing words with Pete. I have no idea what he's even saying.
Yeah, I think like we started using like pronouns in articles and we just replaced it with Pete. Wait, Egg asked me to ask you guys to ask about the Kairi essay. What was it? The Kairi something?
He wants us to read this article on the podcast, and we probably will. I just figured we had you here, you know.
Okay.
That's like a drought content situation.
Gotcha. You know? He said you would know what that would mean.
Yeah, he keeps like tagging me in Discord and posting the article and saying, read this.
Yeah, I said that because I didn't want to dignify anything he said about Pete just now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Egg kind of has a point. It's like you do see Pete like have like actual. I would say he even has more of a character arc than Maleficent too. Like,
yeah, we actually know how Pete started and how he's ended up. We don't know anything about Maleficent's past.
Right. Well,
she's always been like a schemy bitch.
Yeah. The only thing with that I feel like it loses its weight is like, what the hell is he doing now? Right.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
He's just kind of there.
Billy the Kid Lawrence says, Chain of Memories from a gameplay standpoint is ass. Card games that aren't even on motorcycles? Lame. Tis not simply about wishing to mash an X button. The system isn't good. It's not fun. Good story, though, even if it's without any of my mommy. Also, I must insist upon disagreement with the prior statements. Axel is best boy, as is Deadpool. Got it, mommy-rized?
Oh, well done. Stuck the landing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, Billy, about that one.
Yeah. I disagree with all of this.
The story's definitely better than the gameplay in Com, but I think it's got some underrated gems in there.
I think the problem with Recon is that, like...
I don't think it's a hot take.
Yeah, either. They show you that this is, like, a thing that can happen. Like, there's a lot of those, like, tutorial-type screens or whatever. But they don't really give you... They're not like, hey, you can make this spell, and then, like, give you ways to do it. Like, you kind of have to farm it out yourself, and it's not really... clear how you can until you start getting Moogle cards, and even then it's like completely RNG what you get. It's kind of weird. I think if they made that a little bit smoother, I think the actual gameplay itself, once you do have a lot of the stuff, is really fucking good.
Well, maybe for recom.
Recom.
On the PlayStation 7.
Yeah.
Yawn Song says, I think the female characters outside of Kyrie are good. That is my hot take. Edit, I just saw Emmy's post. This was not in response to her specifically. LOL. Also, Recoded Story is good.
Interesting. Well, I would love to hear some justifications and read the receipts on those.
I gotta agree with Aqua. Like, her character arc does make sense, right? Where it's like, she started off, and then when you become a master, it's like, okay, at this point, you either die or you have to regress, right? Like, there's not really... It's like the same thing with, like, Thor in the MCU, right? He's either gotta die or he's gotta regress so that he can go again, right? Like, there's not a whole lot more you can do as far as, like, at least typical character arcs, right? And so, I don't know. It makes sense to me that she needs to have some type of, like, either, like, PTSD or something that's going on in
trauma
Cage 3.
Yeah,
it's just straight up trauma. Like, that's fucking real, you know? Yeah. So, it makes sense. I think Aqua is definitely the best.
I'm most optimistic about her moving forward.
Yeah.
Sean says, super obvious for me, but Yozora isn't really a character yet. He's a really cool boss fight, and I think that people being hyped about a really cool boss fight is cool. But the people who immediately after Remind were like, I hope we get a whole game where Yozora is the main character, were being cringe as fuck. I'm excited to see what storyline Nomura decides to go down with Yozora, but wanting to play as a character that we know almost nothing about in a setting that we know almost nothing about over the dozen of plot lines that were left hanging is weird. It felt like people wanted to justify still loving a series built on Disney characters, but having a game that focused entirely on the more Final Fantasy or anime aspects of the series, which to me just feels like you're outgrowing the series, which is fine. I just don't get wanting the series to change that drastically when there's literally a sister series that is exactly what you're looking for in Final Fantasy.
It's a great point if you ask me. Like, I don't you gotta finish what's on your plate before you get dessert, you know? You can't just, like, jump to Yozora. You have to, like, we have stuff to wrap up. And again, like, what has he said? He's Dylan Sprouse with his neck tilted down talking like this.
Yeah, bad voice acting.
Yeah, it's me, Dylan.
I don't hate it. But, yeah, I mean, the problem is that there is precedence for what they're saying, is that, like, obviously, like, the secret bosses in previous games end up being, like, bad guys in the next games, right? Yeah, you're done.
Just cutting, Jason, you're done. You're done.
So there's that, but then it's like, I want something cool to say. So actually, you know what? He's not the new bad guy. You get to play as him in the next game. It's definitely a big jump.
Yeah. Mike, can you please get, like, a soundboard button, like, when someone, you just want to cut them off, like, you just decide they're finished talking, you're done.
Yeah, but it's not Yozora saying it, it's me.
I like that.
You're done.
You can just say it. You don't need a button.
Yeah,
you
that's
can just say it. Yeah. I just fucking lost it when Jason was talking and Mike was like, you're done.
You're done. Tylerim says, I don't know.
No chance.
I don't know people care so much. I think he means I don't know why people care so much for the Final Fantasy characters outside of the fact that most of them are from FF7. Puke face, puke face, puke face. Ventus sleeper, Ventus sleeper, Ventus sleeper. Wanting them to return for 3 would have done nothing for the story because we finished their story arc in 2. Also, the Sephiroth fight might have been hard in 1, but it was dog shit easy in 2. And both had unsatisfying endings where Cloud showed up and they fought into the sky. What would have happened a third time? You can guess. Grow up.
Damn.
You know, Tyler actually submitted a similar Final Fantasy-centric take to my upcoming hot take project.
Oh, yes.
So it's clearly been on his mind, so...
Yeah, when we finish with these, we're going to talk about that hot take project, so everybody stay tuned. Zach says, I said it on Twitter, I'll say it again. The Destiny Trio's relationship, especially in later games like 3, feels non-existent.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I
totally
know
fair.
more about the Ice Cream Trio, you know, by the end of days than we have throughout 3 mainline games with SRK, you know.
Right.
I feel like they don't talk. They gotta catch up, you know.
It's done well in 1. It happens at the very end of 2, where, like, they're even on screen together. And then
3, like, do all 3 of them even have a conversation at any point?
Not just the 3 of them. Like, they're in the same, like, cutscenes,
like they're
or whatever.
in, like, Yensid's loft, but...
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Lach? Locke? I don't know how you say your name. Please tell me.
I'll say Locke.
Locke says, hot take, I genuinely believe Nomura since 2/Chain of Memories has had this entire roadmap planned out especially because all the time in between 2 and 3.
No way.
Pat
No
says,
way.
absolutely not.
You're done. No, I don't know. I mean, that's it's definitely a hot take. I just don't know. There's just so much shit that seems like it just piles on, and I love it. I love him for it, you know. But I just can't imagine that you're telling me that he knew about Yozora stuff back in 2006. I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, and even just with how like creative works happen, like you're gonna change things along the way, especially with that big of a fucking gap of years. Like you're going to remake things, retool things, stuff like that.
I would believe that he had maybe like an outline of where he wanted to go.
Yeah, an inkling.
But no way he knew everything. There's just no way.
And I highly doubt it's the same.
Right.
Like it's definitely different.
For sure.
I don't think this man thought of the word unreality until like 2015 at the earliest.
A world of fiction.
Yeah.
A city.
I feel like that's even a reach too.
Yeah, I'm being very generous with that.
Yeah.
Elk says, I've been waiting for this. KH fans are fucking weird.
We sure fucking are.
A portion of them really don't like it when someone says Kingdom Hearts does get pretty confusing. Not every game is perfect, and it's not for everyone. Let people dislike things that aren't for them. Let people criticize things logically. Stop having pointless arguments about which KH game has the longest wiener. Stop arguing about shipping, because arguing about headcanons and shit like that is fucking pointless. Fuck you, weird KH fans. Suck my dick and balls. That being said, I don't like Shion because I don't like Shion.
What? You can't just pivot to that.
That's funny, dude. That is funny.
I do think that Melody Memory has the biggest dick, by the way.
It might.
True.
Because it doesn't have to tell anybody that.
Right.
Like, whoever has the biggest dick is not running around being like, yo, my schlong is huge.
It does have
Melody
big dick
Memory
energy.
is not once spoken about its cock.
Yeah, it's like how Timmy Turner and Fairly Odd Parents never wishes for a big dick. Like, you know he's just...
He's fine.
You know he's just hanging that shit.
Bamboo says, Kingdom Hearts is a kid's game, no duh, but that's not all. Obviously, young adults and adults can enjoy things intended for children and tweens, but they have a certain responsibility to either create a space for older individuals and keep young folks out of it, or keep all their age spaces kid-friendly. Like, goddamn, little Timmy does not want to see your Aqua Cross self-insert fan art.
Cosmo and Wanda, I wish to see Aqua self-insert fan art. Little Timmy, no. We can't oblige by that, little Timmy. No, I agree. Listen, these games have been going on for 20 years, so it's only natural that people in their 20s and 30s are still invested in what's going on. I mean, you'd be weirder to not be interested in what happens. Right. But I agree that like separate space is definitely needed once we get this wide range of participants for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah, I feel like the only place where that would really even happen though is like Twitter.
Yeah.
And like a shittily moderated Discord.
And you can't do anything about Twitter.
Yeah,
it's a bad place to be.
14th member Shion says, as much as I want to be hyped for KH4 and everyone can fight me, I don't want Marvel or Star Wars represented. Yes, they bought the properties, but to me as a fan, it takes away from the original intent. I struggled really bad with inserting Pixar movies as well. There are so many other Disney animated films that I feel never got properly represented, and rant.
You know, I could talk about that one for probably 2 hours. So I would just cap it off by saying that I think the goalposts move on what we can realistically anticipate to be in a KH game every time there's a game. Like the very first game was not all classic animated Disney films. Nightmare Before Christmas is not in the animated canon. That's like a Touchstone Tim Burton thing. And then you move to KH2, you get live action stuff, you get stuff based on cartoon shorts, you go to Dream Drop Distance, you get stuff based on direct-to-DVD, a movie without a plot like Fantasia. Like the goalposts move every time, and then Pixar in 3. So I don't understand people who say that it's not in the spirit. Like, the spirit's always been evolving, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It changes literally every installment.
I can understand, like, the Marvel and Star Wars thing, just because both those fan bases fucking suck.
Well, that's true, yeah. There's plenty of good reasons to not want them in, yeah.
The Pixar thing made my eyebrows go up for sure, because it's like, these are pretty much the same fucking thing,
they're interchangeable
guys.
at
like,
this point, yeah.
You're arguing between Coke and Pepsi right now, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is...
I mean, I would
semantics.
argue that Disney has become more recognizable for Pixar than its typical animated ventures.
Oh, for sure.
You guys?
Because Pixar's basically always been crushing it, except for like Cars and The Good Dinosaur. They've never had like.
I'd say Cars 1.
Yeah, Cars 1.
Maybe not after that.
Yeah. So yeah,
Airplanes.
I mean, if you look at like what we have left, like I think we kind of overstate what we have left. Like you want Sword in the Stone and Jungle Book. You got Princess and the Frog, I guess. Like I would love Treasure Planet, but like we got bangers in the Pixar canon. Like you got Soul, you got Coco. I just think there's so much good stuff to mine from, and I think all of the stuff moving forward is going to be like CG stuff. I anticipate that we're going to get properties that were 2D in KH as worlds, but that's just me.
And what 10-year-old kid that is going to play KH4 as their first Kingdom Hearts game? I know some people are pissed off, but they're fucking 10 years old, and also they're not going to be like, "Yo, Treasure Planet's in KH4. This is crazy." Yeah. They've never heard of Treasure Planet. They never heard of Atlantis, guys. They don't care about either of those.
Yeah, there's no way they're getting in. And as much as I would love it, like I don't even think it makes sense to do it. So
right.
Gavin Dotson says, I don't have many hot takes on KH other than I genuinely like the gameplay of Recoded. I think many people would have a different and more positive take on that game if they actually played it instead of just watching the cutscene movie.
Yeah. I've fallen victim to this. I need to play it on stream sometime because it's very foggy in my memory. I want to give it an honest college try.
We actually reached an incentive during our charity stream to play Recoded for the first time live on stream.
Oh my god.
So that's coming soon, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we're excited.
Maybe we'll both be playing at the same time at some point. We can talk, shoot the shit about that.
We could do a podcast where we talk about Recoded.
Recoded podcast? Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Book me for fifth time, baby.
Gavin also adds, I love 358 over 2 days, but I think I would have really disliked the story if I only watched the HD cutscene movie. I really think that the best way to experience that game is by slogging through the repetitive gameplay. It makes the meetup with Shion and Axel at the end of the day feel earned. At the end of the day, you're all coworkers. Some of the best times I've had with coworkers were when the job was done and we met up afterwards. I think that playing and not watching 358 over 2 days is what captures the emotional story.
No, yeah, I think that's a pretty conventional take there. I agree.
It's kind of like some workaholic shit. Crazy shitty day at work, and then now it's the hijinks after. Like we're hanging out. Instead of drinking some beers, we're eating some ice cream every time. Yep.
Yeah, I think the gameplay to story shift each mission is very important to the emotional weight that game has. Like you're not going to feel it as much if you're not slogging through it and punching in and punching out. So I agree.
Cage Waterblock says Chain of Memories GBA gameplay is fire. Rechain is an absolute disgrace to the original. 358 Days Over 2 is literally the worst game in the entire franchise. It straight up sucks in every department. Recoded is literally a fire game, has the best command deck gameplay of all the command deck games. Waterblock's out here just...
A lot of hyperbole.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Listen,
these are some hot takes.
Yeah, I can't call Days the worst when there's, other things lurking around that you might want to spend money on to get medals for.
Yeah, true.
So
true.
$15,
Pat,
not a month, a week. What the fuck?
Pat made some people very upset there.
Whatever.
Disaster Piece Rissa says, I know I'm going to get some flack on my hot take, but I don't find Aqua as riveting a character as a lot of people do. The BBS characters are all kind of lackluster in my opinion, but I feel like Aqua gets a lot of hype for not a lot to stand behind. KH3 did nothing to help her any further by taking the Norded moment, which could have been interesting, and reducing it to very little, and afterwards she doesn't get much help.
Yeah, like I said, I want to see what they do moving forward. I'm still optimistic, but yeah, I mean, just judging from the body of work so far, I am also not entirely riveted by Aqua's journey. So
I just think blue hair girl is hot.
It's a very popular market to be tapped into.
Chillery says, I've only answered a few question leaks, but this is the first one I've really wanted to go in on thus far, so bear with me here. My hot take would be that they should all have retired all the current characters at the conclusion of KH3. Crowd boos and hisses. Think about it. Every game we're just carrying forward more and more characters and plot points. There's just not enough time in a game to hit all these connections and relationships. Instead of a few great deep dives, you get many quick and perhaps less satisfying moments. I think that's why you hear people say that they want an all KH character, no Disney game. We're so bogged down with years of old KH junk in the attic, why not do a little spring cleaning? Wouldn't it be much more interesting to start fresh with a new protagonist, with less characters, but thus fewer relationships that could be explored in greater depth? Set these fresh little faces in a cool new sleepy KH hub town. They could recapture that sense of new adventure and the unknown you get from the earlier games, where to world and plot is brand new to the character, and by extension you the player. I'm not saying throw everything out. Set it in the future. Make subtle references to past games. Then at some point, a game or two in the future, you can bring back an OG character. Sora steps out of a cave on a mountainside, an old wise master or some shit. You literally cause 3/4 of the fan base to have a coronary from excitement. Obviously, it's been done before, but I just feel like that's the place we're at in the life cycle of the series, and I'm here for that shit. Anyways, unfortunately, I was away this weekend. However, it sounds like the charity stream was a great success. Congratulations. Hope you guys in the community had fun. Thank you, Chillery. We did.
Yeah, thank you.
And good take. I don't necessarily agree, but I think it's a nice idea to like conceptualize a fresh start. I think kind of like having all these characters, it definitely bogs things down, but I also think it might be a feature and not a bug. I think that opens up a lot of opportunities for side games and maybe quicker to produce projects. Like, I mean, I would love if they would just do like, give us like a 0.2 length thing with just like, you know, fucking the TVA group or like Roxas and Shion doing something, you know? Like, I think there's so much potential. I don't anticipate they'll tap into that just because I tend to have low expectations. But I think there is a lot of avenues to like make this work instead of letting it bog down like the mainline games by trying to cram everything in.
Yeah, well, and okay, so like it's a similar thing. Like, I know you're not super into like Marvel or whatever, but it's a similar thing with Endgame. Like, they had so many fucking characters that it was like, you're not gonna really get like an in-depth thing where you have all of them there, right? You can only have like these small little one-offs like and quips, stuff, right? But in that, they can actually kill fucking characters off, and they do.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's how they can actually cycle through and make it still feel fresh. Whereas, like, when has a KH character really ever perma-died minus, like, Ericus Xehanort?
Yeah.
And, like, even when Ericus died, it was like, oh, I'm secretly inside of Terra this whole time. Yeah, you never know. I'm dead, though. Yeah. So it's, like, one of those things where it's like, who fucking knows, dude? But that's why I think that will never really happen. Is because, like, the like kill to like the actual like death ratio is so fucking small that it's like, okay, you could say in a way that like Terra and Ventus and Aqua going to the Dark Realm is like them like dying or whatever, like what you would use in place of death because it's a kid's game that's like connected to Disney and stuff. But that's never actually going to happen, because even if they mean for that to be like a send-off or whatever, which I don't think that they really are anyways, because they don't really give them a proper goodbye. If there was like this thing where it really seemed like they got like a really good conclusion, then yeah, I would think that might happen. But even if it was their plan, you know there's going to be people who are like, please give us BBS2, please give us BBS2. And I'm one of those people, right? So like, and with how much I feel like Nomura listens to the fans of what people want, it's just going to happen. Like, you're going to eventually get that BBS2 sequel unless he just stops making games with Square or something. Like, I just don't think that will ever happen because of not killing people and also wanting to please fans.
Yeah.
Scarlet Bitch says, hot take, Aqua has no personality. Like, if someone asked me to describe Aqua, it would be badass woman who wants to save her friends, and that's it. There is literally nothing else to her personality. And therefore, I feel like Aqua is overrated. Just because she's a strong fighter compared to the other women and the only one besides Larxene old enough to be waifu material doesn't mean she is a good fully fleshed out character. Larxene is the best written character. She's a strong fighter, has an actual personality, has a motivation. She has opinions on people beyond their darkness so good or their light so bad.
A lot of Aqua takes here.
Yeah.
People are they're fed up with her. I don't know. I don't think they're any good well-written Kingdom Hearts characters. I think they're all just like, you know, I'm not feigning ignorance on that either. Like, I think it's a stretch to say like, oh wow, what an amazingly written character. I think some of them have some pretty nice arcs, but I think we're kind of kidding ourselves.
I feel like Riku's the only good one.
Yeah, I think he's probably what you would hold up as like, all right, here's a guy that's like had an arc and like maybe developed a little bit, but I don't know. I need more. I need a bigger body of work from Larxene to call her the best written character.
Yeah, I can understand the Aqua thing. The Larxene thing feels like it comes out of left field to me. Like, yeah. Especially with her character changing so much from Union Cross to like KH like 1.5.
Yeah.
Or 2.5, whatever. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Swirls Barkley says, yo, my question. My first time being nominated for the question of the week. I would like to thank my family and friends because they are my power. For my hot take, I would like to pose a question. Who is Roxas, and why do I need to care about him so much? I thought they wrapped up the Roxas arc well in KH2 with Sora and Kairi becoming whole again. I know it's unpopular, but I just don't get the hype for Roxas, and I probably never will.
Well,
damn.
IGN sees a garbage character that nobody cares about, so I guess Swirls is in there.
Well, I guess where I'd agree with him is like, did we need to bring Roxas back? Yes, I was as hyped for it as everybody else was. But why did we need to bring him back? It kind of...
It's the same thing as the other question. It's just because Nomura does what the fans want, because he wants to please the fans.
Right. I mean, I'll say this, like, I know a lot of people want characters to die and like go away, and I get that, like, building up like a bit more of a mature angle and freeing up some space, but like I don't know if the series has ever been that kind of universe. Like the very first game, Sora sacrifices himself and he comes back within 15 minutes. Like I don't know if people really thought that, like, when Roxas and Naminé returned to Sora and Kairi at the end of 2, like, that we were never going to see them have autonomy again. Like, the games just don't feel like that unforgiving. Like, they never came off that cruel and realistic to me. I don't know. I think people are setting themselves up for disappointment when they anticipate that maybe we're gonna kill people off. Like, it's not been the company line of the series since 2002, if you ask me.
I guess I'm not expecting Roxas to be killed off. I just don't understand what the point is of him coming back, right?
Right.
You know, the whole point of KH2 at that point was him and Naminé went back to make Kairi and Sora whole again, and so it's like that kind of undermines that part of it by just going, oh, he just came back now. And they do that. I get that. And I get they made 3858 after that to flesh him out more. I slightly agree with Swirls that he did not need to come back, but they did it for fan service reasons.
Yeah, sure.
Zombie says, hot take, reaction commands are fucking stupid. Yeah, I said it. In KH2, when you get the chance to use a reaction command, people will just wait it out and use it to see how much damage it does, which is buffed more with reaction boostability. They're like, yo, I can break this game and destroy the boss easily with the press of one button. Like, how stupid is that? It makes the game too easy, and as I said before, it can break the game, and I think reaction commands shouldn't be in KH4. They should be tossed out like the broken piece of trash it is. Therefore, my point is reaction commands are the worst thing in Kingdom Hearts history. Zombie out here roasting folks.
And it's such a good point. I mean, the thing about reaction commands, right, is that if they weren't in 2, if 2 was just like flashier, faster combat than 1 and no reaction commands, and then they added RCs into 3, people would have lost their fucking minds and said how bad it is. They would have been like, oh my god, you just press this button, that's it, just plays it for you. Like, wow, there's like, you just no-brain this entire game, KH3 for babies. Yeah. Like, you know that would have been the case. Like, I refuse to take anything to the contrary on that. So the fact that, like, we're, I mean, I don't really care about them. Like, I think, you know, any kind of gimmick stuff that, like, takes away, you know, your actual agency, I find to be kind of boring. But the fact that, like, people are just like foaming at the mouth to see them back in KH4, like, I don't know. Again, if we switch this around a little bit, I think we'd have some hypocrisy being exposed. But
well, and we talked about this when we were talking about them being confirmed to return in KH4, but like the reaction commands where it's like Twilight Thorn and you're just like playing a movie by hitting triangle, that sucks. But the stuff where it's like, the samurais, where you hit triangle and then you select the thing to, like, you know, do the move. Like, that stuff's cool.
There's still skill to it.
So I hope they'd have more reaction commands like that as opposed to, like, the Twilight Thorn, like, cutscene things. You know what I mean?
But there are even some, like the snipers or Zigbar. It's like warp snipe. Okay, I press triangle when I see a bullet, and then I just keep pressing it until Sora's done hitting the bullet back. Like, that's not very interesting to me, you know?
For sure.
So there's give and takes. You know, they're not all born equally, those RCs. So
yeah,
for sure.
Jerry Theoden says, I originally typed something else, but I realized my true KH hot take is that all the cutscene movies fucking rock. As far as I'm aware, there's not really any other way to get the full KH story without sinking several days into a playthrough, and damn it, sometimes I just want to hear the clattering of keyblades and monologues about friendship without having to actively participate in it. Maybe when the KH Disney show that's been leaked and confirmed like a million times over the past 20 years finally releases, my opinion will change. But until then, the Days movie is tied with Melody of Memory as my 4th best title in the series behind the number titles. And special shout out to Keynode and the incredibly juiced definitive cut of Days on his YouTube channel.
Yes, it's true. Go to Keynote's channel and he has like a much more cinematic, not retelling, but like reimagining of the Days movie. It's very cool. That's been out for a couple of months now.
Shout out to Keynode. What a legend. Yeah. DP Grant says, Mandy Moore was not brought back as Aerith for KH2 or as Rapunzel in KH3. because she misread too many worlds as too many worlds in the scene where she explains the missing Ansem report in KH1. Learn to read, dipshit, LMAO.
Yeah. I think she was begging them, please let me be Aerith again, please. I need money so bad.
Yeah,
please let me be Rapunzel.
more.
And they were like, we know you were Rapunzel in the movie, but there's no fucking way you're getting your hands on this script after what you did to KH1. You butchered it.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Too many worlds.
Rightfully so.
DP Grant's genuine hot take. A new saga needed to start after KH2. We had a complete story with appropriate character arcs for the main cast through KH1, Com, and KH2. I can still kind of accept Ansem as a villain in KH1 with later plot developments in mind, but I absolutely cannot with Zem this in KH2, especially his interactions with Ansem the Wise at the end of the game. Oh, he was just deceiving everyone? Cringe. The only consistently good thing about the games post KH2 was young Xehanort, the best Xehanort. DP Grant is baiting us right now.
He was so close.
Super hard.
He really is. He really is. Well, and honestly, it makes me think about the fact that, okay, yeah, Xehanort dies at the end of KH3. He's actually still here. Never mind. I take it back. Young Xehanort is clearly going to be in later shit because he's talking to the Master of Masters. Yeah. Ericus is the only person to die.
How fucking dare Nomura say this is the end of the Xehanort saga and not only lie, but make a game that is all about Xehanort right after.
Yeah.
How
no
fucking
kidding.
dare you, dude?
The box says, hot take, Aqua is as bad as Kairi. The only good female character in Kingdom Hearts has been Larxene. I am cautiously optimistic for the Union Cross girls, but at the same time, I know how Nomura writes, so I really shouldn't keep my hopes up for Ava, Scold, Serletzi, etc. I can understand and respect that you guys want to get stepped on by Mommy. But honestly, Xemnas' boobs over Aqua's boobs. Why settle for the inferior
You know
MILF?
what? I'm pushing back against all this now. Aqua Kairi is so bad, but Larxene though, you want her to step on you. That's what people want. Everyone wants Larxene to step on them. Okay. That's what we're getting at here. I mean, I don't know why we're just obscuring this. There's no way we're calling Larxene a well-written character. She doesn't do anything.
I can confirm, in fact, that I do want Larxene to step up.
Yeah, we all do. Let's just say that instead of pretending that she's more well-written than anyone else.
Everyone is just beating Aqua's ass. She's on the floor. She wipes the blood off her lip. And she gets up and she's like, I'm with you to the end of the line. Everyone's just beating her ass right now.
You gotta stop reading these Aqua takes, Mike. We're gonna seem like Sora in the Grand Hall.
I'm just reading what people wrote, all right? I'm just the messenger.
She's not a good character.
Energy Scott says, I love Riku as a character, especially in KH1. Still to this day, he is my top 3 at least. But his fighting style is shit. First in Chain of Memories, it sucks, and at the time, I was so excited to finally be Riku. Massive disappointment. And in 3, his fights are so annoying, it feels uncomfortable. I can't explain it. I haven't played DDD in a while, so I can't vouch for that.
He's juiced in DDD.
He does suck in KH3, though.
Yeah.
He's bad in KH3. As someone who speedruns that game, and that means my opinion is the one that matters most, he sucks in KH3.
Objectively bad.
Yeah, he's objectively bad.
Also, whenever you control other people and it changes your your
customization.
Menu, oh my god, dude,
this motherfucker has cured on triangle.
Yeah.
Energy Scott adds an honorary mention to the ARP community. I've been playing Neo 2E, and I don't hate it. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
But this doesn't count as my answer, as I don't want to see it in KH. But I need to be honest with you, and now I feel like it's a massive weight off my shoulders. The deception is over. I can move on. You guys don't need to hate The World Ends With You. We hate it enough for everybody, so it's okay.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
Jip says, BBS didn't need to be made and doesn't really add anything to the overall series. Also, Aqua is one of the flattest personalities in the series.
Oh my god, leave her alone.
Sorry, Billy the Kid. I don't give a fuck about your mommy. I feel like Jip's being a little offensive here by saying flattest personalities. I think we know what Jip really meant.
Yeah, come on, Jip. Come on,
Jip.
Just wants Larxene to step on Jip.
Flattest dude.
Come on.
Phil Games says, I would rather have had them integrate the new scenes and fights from the Remind episode into the base game of KH3 as if it were final mix. At least the scenes that don't show future time-traveling Sora. The time travel part would then play out right where it actually happens, after the "it's finally over" scene. The scene with Mom and young Xehanort and the 75 years later scene would probably play at the beginning of the game, right after the chess scene and opening, although the latter scene would have to be slightly rewritten to avoid spoiling who was in the real organization. The scene with Xigbar and Luxord would play at the beginning of Limit Cut, so it'd probably be best to save that until after Xigbar is Lugia reveal. Yes, I have thought way too hard about this. And another one I just thought of, Nomura not knowing what to do with a character doesn't mean that he hates.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that would be interesting for sure to see like if somebody made like a cut of like how the game could go instead, like by reorganizing the cutscenes. That would be cool.
Yeah.
To see how it flows differently.
I mean, I do appreciate
That's
that they didn't
interesting.
make us like play through the whole fucking game again just to get the new shit though.
Oh,
That's
yeah, that
true.
would've sucked.
That's true.
So like I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know. I'm torn on that.
Yeah.
I agree, but I don't agree. Zethis says, I agree with Locke, but I've got more than that on the matter. Nomura had a clear plan, yes. However, I believe part of the plan had to be Final Fantasy Versus 13.
Oh,
no.
Whether he needed the characters in 3 to make his story work or whatever the reason, when he got taken off and they changed Versus 13 on him, his plans got completely destroyed. I don't know what games were in development when he would have got taken off, but I believe he changed the story dramatically once he did. In an interview, it was said that Nomura would not proceed with Kingdom Hearts 3 without Toy Box, and previous to that, he said he would not make KH3 until Versus 13 was done. So my take out of all of this is that Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't actually Kingdom Hearts 3, it's 2.9.
No.
It says right in the game. We thought, okay, it's Nomura back on his bullshit, yes. But remember part of the Sleeping Realm theory that had to do with the missing part of the third numeral on the title? I think their interpretation was wrong, and that the numeral is roughly 90% filled, 2.9. Nomura was just telling us, hey guys, sorry, I didn't really get to make 3. To me, 3 is just a stepping stone for Nomura to tell the story he was trying to in the first place. Too long didn't read, Kingdom Hearts 3 is actually a side game.
Oh my god.
God, I don't want to hear about this fucking
This
Sleeping
is the
Realm theory
hottest
ever
take.
again.
This is the hottest take.
Jesus.
Because it's like,
I feel like this is our fault in some way, Jason.
yeah, it's like the Sleeping Realm theory, bro, like, it's just not real. Like, it was definitely cool, especially at the time, but like, it's just like not confirmed, bro. Like,
I wouldn't say not
Okay.
confirmed,
And
I'd say
also
debunked.
yeah, debunked, yeah, that's what I meant. But the Versus 13 shit is just...
I say let him do whatever he wants. They took away his baby, so he's gonna put it back into his other game. He's earned
it's
it.
like, especially he wouldn't do KH3 until Versus 13 was done. I think it's just like, that's the game he was working, like,
Yeah.
you've finished the thing
they weren't
before you
demands.
go on to the next
They
thing.
were like chronology statements, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move on here.
Yeah, let's move on.
Richard says, Chain of Memories has some of the best gameplay mechanics. Is it basically JRPG War? Yes, but I would love for another deck builder style KH game.
Based.
There's a ton of room for improvement on that. I mean, I think
Yes.
again, recom, let's get it going. There's so many enemy cards that they could rework and make them more useful for typical play, so I would love to see them do something deeper with that.
It'd be so cool.
Nick T, number 1 Cretan, says, Jiminy over everyone else.
How dare you?
Come
How
on.
dare you?
His actual answer, Kingdom Hearts Union Cross was a top-tier Kingdom Hearts experience. The game was easy to play,
What?
updated more,
What the fuck?
updated more frequently than the main series, and had an enjoyable, cute art style. I found myself playing Union Cross more than starting a new KH 1 through 3 playthrough.
What?
Was relaxing, just grinding the weekly raid boss and seeing the numbers go up in the stat page.
It's easy to update it when it's fucking JPEGs talking in texts. Of course, the updates more frequently.
I love that Nick, which we haven't heard from Nick in a while. I hope you're doing well, buddy.
Welcome
but
back, Nick.
I love that
Yeah.
Nick hit us with the Jiminy thing, and
Yeah.
then somehow his real answer was worse
Yeah.
than the Jiminy thing.
Oh my
How did he
gosh.
do that?
No,
That's
listen.
incredible.
If it makes you happy and if it's comfy, then go ahead. I mean, you can't do it anymore.
Pat, no.
suckers.
No, Pat. No,
Can't
we
believe
are
you
not
say
standing
more.
for this.
Yeah.
No, you more
that-
like Union cross your name off the
Yeah.
list of
Bro,
cool people.
For appearing
why are
next
you
time.
acting like you didn't just auto battle through the whole thing, and the only time that you actually press things is to start the mission and then to walk around in the mission, bro? It's not a top tier experience.
I mean, you can't tell
bro.
me it's better. You can't play it anymore. It doesn't exist.
that too.
You can't
True.
tell me you can't be KH1. And KH1's not a ghost. It's a physical thing I can hold. You know, I can play that right now if I
that's
wanted
actually
to.
true.
Pat does hold KH1
I
in his
do,
arms every
dearly.
night when he goes to bed.
Yeah, I put it under my pillow.
Anyway,
kisses it. Yeah.
Pat, do you have an answer for this question of the week? That was the last answer we have.
You know, I don't have an answer. I have a plug because I've been thinking about hot takes for like a month now. And I've actually, some of these I've heard a variation on in this video coming up. But basically, I sent out a survey a while back on YouTube and Twitter asking people for their hottest Kingdom Hearts takes. We got 450 responses. I narrowed it down with my friend to 32. And this upcoming video, which should be out by the time this podcast is out on Friday, it's just like a big bracket battle of take against take, and we advance which one we think is hotter and which one we think kind of moves the needle for us on our opinion on the issue. And Tyler is in there with a take as well, a very similar Final Fantasy one. So it's pretty interesting stuff. It's very long. It's just under 3 hours. So
holy shit.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a banger.
I'm excited for that though.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. It's funny. We didn't plan this, but there's some synergy here.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. Jason, do you have an answer?
I guess for me, my hot take, it's not really, we kind of already talked about it. It says that, like, Recom's actually really fucking good and has, like, really high potential. Especially if you're, like, in an engine like KH3 or something, where, like, you're actually not in random JPEG room. Like, you don't have to actually... Like, the whole encounter thing, I think, doesn't need to really happen either. There's just, like, so much more things you could do with it that I feel like was just mainly trying to be true to the original GBA game, which if we're talking about, like, mechanics, like, the actual hardware restrictions, that's incredibly massive. So it's just trying to be true to the old game. So if you just took those, like, shackles off and actually made, like, a card deck battler type deal in Unreal Engine, it would be an absolute banger.
My hot take is that none of you actually like Kingdom Hearts. You just like the idea of Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah.
You've never actually enjoyed it.
You're just in love with the idea of it. Yeah.
You just wish you know, you're just like, oh man, that sounds cool, and then you play it and you don't actually enjoy it. I'm the only one that enjoys it. That's my hot take.
Yeah, the solipsistic KH take. Only I exist. Only I enjoy.
Exactly.
Either of you guys got a fun idea for the question of the week next week? Because we didn't have a lot of suggestions.
How about if you get to play as one non-Sora character in KH4, who do you most want that to be?
Ooh.
And why?
Okay. Pat, that's beautiful. Let's do it. Look at that, regular Pat.
Look at that.
All those people that keep begging us to make you a permanent SpikeGhetti brother, despite the fact that we've never talked about that, and that we've never been like, oh, we're looking for a third SpikeGhetti bro, and you've never been like, man, I wish I was part of the Super SpikeGhetti Bros. But there's people that are like, when's Pat gonna be the third member? And it's
au contraire, I'll change my birth certificate right now. I'll rewrite history.
Ooh,
regular Pat SpikeGhetti?
Yeah, kind of like the ring of that.
You'd be the
just
only
rolls right off the tongue.
You'd be the only one with SpikeGhetti on your birth certificate. That's for sure.
Yeah. You guys would be like, why'd you do that? Why would you?
That's not our name.
That's not really their name.
I just wanted to fit in.
So it's just a stupid name? It's not because it's just actually their name? It's just
really dumb? I thought it had to be their real name because it's so dumb. Not even Italian. Yikes. Anyway, Pat, thank you so much for joining us, dude. It's always a blast when you come on.
I always love being here, yeah.
And I think that's why people want you to be the third SpikeGhetti bro, because it is such a good time. Yeah, we have a good time. Instant chemistry between the three of us.
It's true.
And I actually didn't dodge Pat for the last, like, 2 times.
Because Keynote getting in the way of me and Jason interacting, and then last time he was sick, so it's really been since, like, March I got to just talk to Jason.
That's true, actually, yeah.
You know?
I didn't think about that. Jason tends to do that when we have guests on. Like, he dodged half the episode with Sean, too, so.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
he was like trying to get COVID. It was really weird.
Typical Jason. He's licking doorknobs.
Yep.
Anyway, Pat.
Cough in my face.
Yeah. Pat, why don't you? I'm sure everybody knows who you are and what you do, but why don't you plug some stuff so people can find you if they're interested in hanging out with you some more?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at the subpar Patsby. I tweet, hot takes, relevant conversation there, and some spicy memes sometimes. You also got a Discord, the regulars, if you want to hop over there. We got obviously YouTube, regular Pat, twitch.tv/regular Pat YT. That's Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6, Saturdays at 4. And also regularpat.com has everything about me if you're interested in whatever I'm up to.
Wait, you have a website?
I do, remember? From last time.
Did we talk about this last time?
We did, yeah. Keynote was like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's right. That's right. When Keynote was here. Yeah. We talked about your website, and I was like,
it's literally just a link tree. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Maybe we need a website, Jason.
Just buy it up so that your enemies can't buy it, and then, put whatever they want on there.
Do you think HMK.com's for sale?
I'm not going to confirm or deny.
I feel like he definitely has a website.
Well, he probably has it under Henry Michael Killa, which, of course, is his real name.
Right.
It's got like a forum. It's got some really crazy background art that makes it so you can't really see the text.
Yeah, it's probably like
on the
red
website.
On black.
Everything's definitely in the Kingdom Hearts font, which is illegible.
Right.
Yeah.
This game's constantly playing.
You're looking at the guide and you're like, wait, what? Where am I?
It's probably hype, though.
It is probably very hype. It's a big hype beast.
It plays music. It's like a MySpace pretty much retooled. It plays music when you go to it.
Do you think we'd make his top 8, Jason?
Hell no.
Well, I mean, there's only the 4 other keykeepers.
Well, how many people are on MySpace on this social media? This new keykeeper social media?
No, it's it is retooled. Yeah, so it's even less people on it. Yeah.
I don't know. You guys might have a shot.
I think we have a shot. I think Pat has a bigger shot.
I don't know about that. Let's not. Let's be careful.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us this week. Pat, thank you again for joining us.
Absolutely.
Everybody, please go check out Pat if you haven't. And even if you have before and you were like, wow, this guy sucks, check him out again because I promise you're wrong. Pat's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah.
You're not just wrong, you're stupid.
Exactly.
You're stupid.
We'll be back next week with I don't know what the fuck we're going to do next week, but I think we're already back in drought mode, Jason.
Oh, no.
No, there's no way. There's no way.
Content, men, there is no drought.
Until August.
There's something on the way, dude.
Until August, we're in drought mode. Until Dark Road comes out, unfortunately.
You cannot be starving yourselves until Dark Road. You'll find something.
Yeah,
we did it once, we'll do it again, dude.
Yeah, this is what we do, We just ration little Kingdom Hearts bits for ourselves all year.
Those precious morsels.
Yes. Anyway, thank you guys. We will see you guys next week. Jason, hit him with it.
May your heart be your guiding key.
Thank you.
Now fuck off.
Pat, do you want to say fuck off?
Now fuck off.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Ansem Report Podcast Season 2, Episode 6, featuring the regular Pat. Please go check out Pat. He's a very cool dude, and he does a lot of really cool content. And I mean it when I say he's my favorite Kingdom Hearts content creator. He just pumps out very interesting videos, mostly KH1-centric, but there's a lot in there. He does a lot with the whole series, and he's a really cool guy. You guys should go check him out. The Ansem Report Podcast theme, Radiant Garden, was made by Shane Plunkett and Jesse Wright of Meadow Vista Media. You also know Shane as Fabio the Iguana, very cool member of the community who does a lot of different things and helps Pat out with a lot of stuff, especially that rap stuff. And so thank you to them for letting us use this theme. It's honestly reinvigorated the way I see the podcast. I've always wanted a theme for the Ansem Report that was like a Hollow Bastion remix, Radiant Garden type stuff, and Fabio just knocked it out of the park, dude. So thank you again to those guys. This show is brought to you by all of our friends on our Patreon at patreon.com/SuperSpikeGhetti Basically, those people support us and allow us to make this podcast and a lot of other things every week. We are Content Men TM this year, and we're really trying to lean into that. On the Patreon, you get access to our Marvel Cinematic Universe tier list podcast, Fine, I'll Do It Myself, where we just did Thor, and that should be up pretty quick, and we're moving towards all the Thor movies to get to Thor Love and Thunder when it comes out in July. We also have started releasing our sister podcast, Coached by Tara, a podcast where my girlfriend Tara explains to me different books, and right now we're doing Twilight. We're on Twilight New Moon. But we've been releasing that a week early on Patreon. So if you're into that show, you'll be pleased to be a patron, and that's for all tiers. If you're not into that show, check it out. It's a lot of fun. Tara has a very soothing voice, and if you're anything in the Twilight, if you've ever liked Twilight at all, it is a good show to check out. I know nothing about Twilight except what she's coached me on so far, but I think it's a really fun show. Also on the Patreon, pretty quick here, I'm going to be posting the rock band concert that we did in the middle of our charity live stream. The nature of that video, it has to be kind of on Patreon and not just public, but you guys will have that. We're working on behind the scenes stuff with J. Kona Jameson. Tara and I are working on doing a tour video of the new house. So there's a lot going on Patreon. If you want to support us, you can go to patreon.com. There are 3 different tiers. They get you all different things. Check that stuff out, please, if you want to support the show in any way. I'm now going to list off our current patrons because they are really cool Poggers people that are supporting the show, and so I'm going to go through that right now. Nesquick, 502. Billy the Kid Lawrence. Corinne Verg. Dr. Lambic. DP Grant. Elbow Juice. Energy Scott. SB Cat. Famous for Nothing. Gavin Dodson. Iron Aggro. Iron Daddy Sean. It's your boy Woody. Pokemon Trainer J. Lisa S. Mr. Trumpeter 711, Orpheus Joshua, Panda Loves, Preferred Whale 6, Sean _AFK, Charles Barkley, Tyler Rims, Vigilus Gaming, Water KH, Yawn Song, Zach P, Chillery, Lands of Masters, Egglag 29, Frank Verg, Get Roxel, Regular Pat, Fabio the Iguana, Unholy Dolphin, Vetus, What's Up Carl, Yeetus Vanitas Broondocks, Cheney, Damon Z, Kyrie's Bro, Travis Town Jr., Phil Games, and Afro Roxas. If you want to be like any of those cool people, please go to patreon.com/Super Spaghetti Bros. We've been doing this we launched it in January, so this will be our 6th month in June here, and it's been a blast. I've really liked making more content and really putting my whole bussy into it. So thank you guys so much for supporting us. Please go to patreon.com/Super Spaghetti Bros if you'd like to support us. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with episode 7 of season 2 of the Ansem Report podcast, and it's going to be a pretty tight one, so we'll see you guys then. There's actually, like, because I bought a house and moved, I've seen, like, people not necessarily say that, but be like, oh, are you and Jason okay?
Oh, it's like Game Grumps.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we're fine. I just bought a house because I'm an adult. And it's what adults do.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And I'm not going to, why doesn't Jason come live with you? I go, he doesn't pay rent. Like, he just lives at my dad's. Like, it's fine. Why would he come here?
Yeah, it's okay.
Like, it's okay. We can,
I can't believe Jason hit Tara, and that's why Mike moved out.
Yeah. Jason slapped the shit out of Tara, and now, but we still have to, like, keep up appearances,
Right.
Yeah. Crazy.
You're still good brothers. It's all fine.
Yeah. We're hopefully Jason doesn't go all fucking, like, weird JonTron on us.
Yeah,
now.
go all right on us. That's the J. Kona side, You can't let him out.
It's not an act.
Yeah. It's really what he thinks.
Yeah. It's fucking Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't Jason that slapped Tara, it was J. Kona.